Welcome back to spreadsheetpoint.com. In this video, I will go over 3 ways people misinterpret data in Excel. The 3 ways I'm going to briefly talk about today is a small data set, extreme outliers, and varying timeframes. So for the small data set, this one is pretty self-explanatory. If you're looking at a data set that has, let's say in this case, 3 categories. Now, these small sample sizes can lead to unreliable conclusions only because they really lack diversity and they're quite random. Now, here's an example. So category A, B, and C, A 48, B 38, and C 24. Making decisions about trends that might come from this limited data is a little risky only because it may not represent a broader picture. Now, of course, if you only have A, B, and C categories in your business that you're perhaps looking at, I mean, you only have what you only have, right? If this is the only data that you're able to get, and it's the only data available, then perhaps you could come to conclusions about this data. But if there are more than 3 categories, let's say you're looking at types of cars, let's say, and these letters represent types of cars. Well, obviously, there are many more makes and models of cars. Say you're even looking at small cars, small compact cars. There are a lot more than 3. And let's say these values are prices and you're looking to get maybe an average price. Okay. Now let's change these prices around. Actually, we'll put 20,000, 22,500. And maybe this is a little bit more expensive. So here's your average price, right? But in the cases with the compact car, there could be many other models and makes that you might want to go into your average. So this average may or may not be accurate based on the number of cars or categories you're looking at. So just keep that small data set in mind when looking at data and making decisions about data based on small data sets. The second thing that we will discuss is extreme outliers. Now, if you look at this data here, it has the months listed and then the sales listed. As you can see, from January to November, it's quite stable. And then you have December, which really jumps up to 5,000, which is significantly higher than the rest. Now, if we were to create a simple bar chart here, we'll highlight that data. We'll go to Insert. We're going to go to Chart, Recommended Charts here, and then we're going to go here. Let's just create this. Now, this isn't formatted or anything like that. I just wanted to visually show you. So look at that right there. That really shows the discrepancy in December. This very well may be accurate according to your data. Maybe you had a big product that was introduced to your business in December. Maybe that is accurate, but it's really hard to get any type of idea or overall trend looking at this type of data because it's really, the 5,000 is really trumping all of these other months of data. Now, what we could do is if you want to exclude December. So let's say this actually is real. A new product came out in December and it really increased sales, but you wanted to really get a true idea of how the year went. You could always actually just take that data out right there. And now you get to an actual trend. Let's just add a trend line in here. Let's add that trend line. So you see the upward trend there. If we add this data back in here, let's undo that and put that data. Look at the trend line now. I'm going to add the trend line. It's quite a dramatic jump up. Whereas if we take that data out of there, yes, it's still trending upwards. However, it's obviously less than if you take the 5,000 out. So just be wary of extreme outliers in your data when you are analyzing data. And this actually also helps to find errors too. Like maybe this was actually supposed to only be 500, which is still pretty extreme, but it helps you identify errors and potential errors in your data, looking for outliers. And the third one, of course, would be varying timeframes in your data. This data here is a stock price data, so it spans 500 days. I've added a lot of data in here, so 500 days worth of data. When you're reviewing data, let's say you want to get a trend for the stock price. You don't want to grab data that is too short or too long a period of time. It really depends on the analysis that you're trying to do. So let's say you wanted to look over a 7-day period. So I'm going to look over 7 days here. I'm going to do that same thing. I'm going to insert my chart. We'll do a line this time to show the trend line like that. We'll take this title out of there. So it's pretty choppy, right? But remember, this is only 7 days worth of data. So this may look pretty volatile, actually, in fact. But let's bring this right down to the bottom. Let's take the full 500 days worth of data. Let's see the trend line now. You don't want your time frame to be too far because really it's not going to help you with any type of specific analysis. It's going to make the chart look pretty messy. There's way too many data points here. Let's lower it a bit. Let's make this a little smaller, maybe halfway. Let's see what half does. Let's get half the time frame. See if that helps a little bit. So a little bit. As you can see, you have to keep in mind the varying time frames when you're analyzing data, and it's quite important in stock analysis. If you analyze data with a short time frame, it really focuses on the random spikes and dips. So you really miss that long-term stability. If you're looking at a stock price for 7 days, that's not necessarily how it's going to function over, let's say, even a month or worst, even a year. So make sure you decide properly the time frame that you're looking at, especially when looking at stock prices or really any type of trading in general. I hope you found this video useful. For more advice, check out spreadsheetpoint.com and don't forget to like and subscribe.